Hello and welcome back to another video with me, Mr. Cool Plays. I can't zoom because I'm in a snapshot. And why am I in a snapshot? Because we've got brand new lovely blocks in this lovely snapshot. Starting with, of course, the lovely shells, as you can see. Copper golem statues, copper chest, the lightning rods that have different colors now, and all of these new copper blocks. Mojang got really sick and tired of people saying copper was useless, and so I've made a few builds using these new blocks. Also, I know this is a bit unrelated, but I've just realized this is the first video I've ever recorded with a chewing gum in my mouth. I'm chewing gum. But anyway, starting with this here. A storage room. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. You can come in here. The new shelves, they look fantastic. I think, oh, it's brilliant. I really like the way this looks. And just like taking the atmosphere of this place. Oh, I like it so much. You got the new copper golem statues. You can set them to different poses. And you got the copper chest. Obviously, this is extremely functional. I know a lot of people will be using the copper golems to sort their chests. For some reason, he's a bit bugged in this version. As you can see, he's holding the log very strangely. And he can't find the chest to put that pale log into. For some reason, just doesn't interact with these chests. I guess he does he? Well, come over here, dude. This is where he's supposed to put the logs. I think what's wrong with this is that he gets a bit confused when there's more than 10 chests, apparently. So, Mojang, you need to fix your copper golem. But it's a nice concept anyway for a storage room. You just come in here, you plonk all your stuff down, and your copper golem just comes and sorts it all for you. I can't wait to make myself a copper golem storage room in the future. I am absolutely horrible at sorting chests, so I can't wait for the copper golem to sort them for me. But yeah, I can't wait to build one of these on the Just Minecraft server, have my chest sorted for me. It's gonna be brilliant. Moving on, yeah. I had a lot of fun with the copper golem statues anyway, I must say. I think you can tell what's happening. This is the thing with the copper golem statues, is you can tell a story as it's happening, right? You can just like freeze frame, and this is a race. The copper golems are racing. And to have a little bit more motivation, if they slow down, they'll be ran over by a car. Which also, look, car antenna. Looks really cool. How did I do this? Copper golem under the carpet, of course. It looks brilliant. As well as the backlights here. I know this doesn't look too good, but this is just a proof of concept. You can have lights in the back, you know. It's like item frames, but just you can fit 3 items in it. Although Mojang did change these so that the items now fall down to the bottom of the shelf rather than being in the middle. I'm not sure I really appreciate that change. I think a lot of people are really happy with being able to add the details in the middle there, such as banner text as well. Which, yeah, I mean, it's more realistic that the items don't just float in the middle of the shelf. But this is Minecraft. Whatever, Mojang. Do what you like. Nothing much more to say about this. Moving on to our next build over here. I can't stop with the copper golem statues. I just decided, you know what? Factory. Yes, let's please do this. So, we have a conveyor belt here. Pumping out fresh new copper golem toys, statues, whatever. And it's going in there. Yeah, the red light, of course, that's where it's coming from. Green light's where it's going, because we have the new green light copper torch. Lovely. Also, we have some copper golems sitting on the storage, as if maybe they're being put into the barrels. I don't know. Same with the copper chests here, although that looks arguably worse. I'm not really a fan of how the copper chests look. I don't know. I just won't use them myself personally too much, except for their functionality. But for detail, I don't think they really look that good. Also, since the copper golem statues are 1.5 blocks high, then you can link them to chains, and it looks like they're going across that way, and then they're coming across this way, like a little ski lift. So that's going to be cool to see. Also decided to use the new copper chains, because, I mean, we got new copper chains. Let me know what you think of this. We'll move on to our next few ideas here. I was really bored. I didn't really know what to do. I just decided to put random stuff on the copper golem's head. So, hey, look, here's a hat. Looks like a farmer copper golem. Here's a helicopter copper golem. Yeah. Here's a copper golem with a lightning rod on its head, and here's a copper golem with a lightning rod on its head, but the other way around. Yeah. Here's a copper golem with a crown on his head, which is actually yellow candles. You wouldn't even expect that, would you? Copper golem with iron bar in its head. Actually, you know what? Wait. I made this before the copper bars were introduced, so I'm going to actually replace that. Sorry. There. Copper golem with copper bar in its head. Actually, let me replace this iron chain as well for a copper chain, and now it's also hanging from the ceiling. In fact, you can make it look distressed hanging from the ceiling. Oh no, that looks horrible. It looks like it's being tortured. Could put a lava bucket down there. Yeah. There we go. Yep, this is a lot better. This is a lot better. Copper golem with a hopper. I was going to say hopper golem, but it's just a hopper. A copper golem with a hopper on his head. I don't know why you would do that, but I mean, hey, you can... Why not? Then a copper golem with a potted plant on its head. I don't know why you would use any of these, but I mean, there you go. You're free to use the designs. And a copper golem having a lovely, lovely picnic with a lovely cake and a lovely potted plant that's not on his head. I discovered something. Just stick with me here. Stick with me for a second, okay? Just 1 second, please. Elf on the shelf. We have elves on shelves in Minecraft out because the copper golem's small. He's like an elf, right? I mean, like, elf, basically. Shelf, elf on a shelf. I mean, it's amazing, isn't it? Right, moving on. I think you have enough of copper golem statue, to be honest. So let's move over to a build that uses some shelves. And I must say, I could be considered quite a considerable fan when it comes to shelves. I think everyone has done this, and I'm doing the same thing. Put shelves like this on the bottom of a pillar. It's going to look really grand and fantastic and really cool and Greek and whatever, blah, blah, blah. They're also quite good for arches, I guess. Although I want to say one thing. People are calling these vertical slabs. They're not vertical slabs, buddy. They're unflippable trapdoors. And to be honest, this doesn't really open up many more building opportunities. It's just a fancy trapdoor, really. But I must say, I will be using the pale oak shelf a lot because the trapdoor does look hideous. Just because of the shadow effect that it has. It just doesn't look any good. But then again, you know, if you want to do a horizontal shelf, you can't do that, so you have to resort to trapdoors anyway. But yeah, I think this design looks quite nice, and also you can power on and off the shelves, as you can see, to give it a bit of a different texture. Overall, I'm quite a fan of the shelves, and they will spice up building a lot for me. But not really a game changer. I think trapdoors are still better, still superior. Anyway, doesn't matter. Shelves are cool. Now moving over to like a little interior for a house. As you can see here, I have shelves along the bottom of this thing. It's like that little lip that most floors and walls have, you know. You'll probably see this. It's just a little trim around the floor and around the edge of the wall, right where they touch. You can power it on, of course, with redstone blocks or other kinds of blocks at the back. Same thing goes for the ceiling, and you can use the back texture as well. It also looks quite nice. And you can also just use it as regular shelves. I mean, this is a shelf, and that's a shelf there too. And actually, now that I think about it, I should have done something like this. I have a feeling this looks a lot better than the trapdoors. Yep. Oh, wait, let me correct this mistake. Excuse me for a second. Yeah, that looks a lot better. That's the thing with the shelves, is they're like an alternative trapdoor because the oak ones have holes in them, which makes them look ridiculous. Sadly, you can't put shelves horizontally. That would be considered a table. But yeah, I mean, that's it for this. I'll move on to our next build over here, which is when I realized that in Minecraft we have red lights and green lights, and yeah, I mean, this is quite self-explanatory, really. Moving on. So I've also discovered another amazing use for shelves. They look great as teeth, and that's why I made this entire face. Just to show you how lovely these teeth look. I mean, aren't they lovely? Isn't that a lovely smile? That's all I wanted to do. You can also have yellow teeth with bamboo, if you want. Nothing really more for me to add to this. You can use glow berries as snot. Moving on to our last build over here. I went a bit bonkers with the details, but I mean, I think it looks quite nice. Does it not look nice? I think it looks nice. Anyway, this is an old dungeon. Ooh, and we have ourselves a skeleton spawner. And we have ourselves all the green lights that make this place seem extremely spooky. As well as a copper golem being tortured. Wait, let's just... Yeah. But yeah, I just want you to feel the immersion of this room. Just ignore the fact that there's no wall here. Just, this is such a lovely room. And the green light, again, the green light makes it so atmospheric. If only this light wasn't so bright, it would feel right. But it doesn't, because it's too bright. So it's not a dark, like, crypt. But, I mean, you know, like, we're getting those sort of vibes. But I don't think there's really much more to add to this build. So now it's time for a few suggestions that I have for Mojang. So Mojang, listen up. Starting off with, I think you can see the problem. I think you can see the problem already. The redstone torch. Where is the redstone lantern? No redstone lantern. I mean, come on, Mojang, come on. Be equal. Be fair to all the torches. They deserve a lantern counterpart. And I just think, like, a redstone lantern has so much potential in redstone, as in, like, it could actually be a functional redstone block of some kind. I'm no redstoner. I won't suggest ideas. But I mean, come on, you know, the redstone community deserves some love, right? I mean, they will all be chuffed to bits if they had a redstone lantern. So I think redstone lantern, please, Mojang, treat the torches with same respect. Do it. Do it, please. Next minor complaint I have is change this texture, please. Change it. Change it. It doesn't have to be the same as iron. I think this is so iconic. We'll leave it alone. This is alright. It's not particularly great. I don't think it looks amazing. I think they should change this texture just a bit. I think, you know what they should do? They should just have, like, straight straight lines, and then instead of this, whatever staircase pattern this is, they should have it just straight across, right, horizontal. So we have some, so we can differentiate between these two a little easier, right? So like, not only are these a different color, but they'd also have a different shape, and they look different, and it would make more sense to build with them. Because right now they don't really look too great, and I don't know if I'll be using them too much. So please change the copper bar texture. They look like iron. I don't think I like it. Just improve it, please. Thank you. Moving on. So now we have green light in Minecraft, and that's cool, but it does nothing. It's functionally not different to the torch whatsoever. Like, it emits the same light level. And so I have a few ideas for this. The first thing I think they should do is, I don't think green light, aka copper light, should stop mob spawning. Just the fact that this light is green makes it so good for like Halloween themed builds and stuff like that. So I think it would be really cool if Mojang could make it so that you'll be able to like build a dungeon like I did over there, light it up, and then mobs would still spawn in it, right? Like, just have that kind of functionality to it. Because I'm sure a lot of people find it useful. Maybe they want to light up their mob farm, their mob spawner, you know, without actually changing anything, you know. I think that would be quite cool. And maybe to expand upon that idea, I think it would be even more useful if mobs still spawned except for creepers. So if you use a copper torch, then all mobs will still spawn except for creepers, which will be so useful if you're doing this inside of some build, but you don't want creepers griefing your build, right? So like, imagine you have a creepy crypt and you walk in and it's all lit up and there's mobs to fight, right? Maybe that's part of the challenge, but you don't want creepers because they explode your builds, right, from the inside. That one is a bit of a stretch, but I mean, since Mojang doesn't give us colorful lighting, I think that's the next best alternative I could come up with. So please expand the functionality of these. Yeah, really cool looking, and it would be a shame if they're just another decorative block. And the next thing, where's the copper button, Mojang? See, originally the copper golem's functionality was to randomly press copper buttons. Now he's in the game, and I see no copper buttons anywhere. Mojang, did you forget the copper golem was promised to come with copper buttons? Now, okay, thanks for bringing him back. You didn't actually have to do that. Like, we thought he was gone forever. So we're really happy to have him back, and he is quite cool. I like that he sorts chests, but can he not also press copper buttons randomly, please? Please, I just need copper buttons. Because you're adding all of these other copper things, right? And you forget about the buttons. Like, I know that adding one new item to copper is adding 8 new items because you have the wax variants and then the oxidized variants. But I mean, come on, if you search a copper already, that's Cooper. But I mean, come on, you already are full of copper stuff. Like, why can't we just have some more? You know, just a few copper buttons down here would be lovely. And then potentially copper pressure plate, maybe? I don't know, I'll leave that for the redstones anyway. They can think about that. And the next thing, okay, this is not building related, but I mean, I want this anyway. Copper armor, right now, I mean, it's quite useless. Like, I mean, it doesn't have anything going for it, right? I mean, like, gold keeps away the piglins. Diamond is just good. Iron's easy to get. Netherite doesn't burn. Leather armor keeps you out of powdered snow. Copper armor does nothing. And I'll probably skip it in the progression to have iron instead. So I think the idea here is, imagine if you wearing copper armor, you got struck by lightning, right? And that could charge the copper armor. It could charge it, and then you have like glowing sort of yellowy things around you, like the enchanting effect, but like just yellow instead. And you would be charged. And maybe white or yellow, whatever. So your copper armor would be charged, and that would give you a big giant power up, basically. Like copper armor by itself, pretty bad. Charged copper armor could potentially be nearly as good as diamond, right? Just because of how difficult it is to get, like a thunderstorm and then lightning to strike you as well. I think it should be very rare, but like also really OP, you know. That's just a little suggestion I had for copper armor. And my last suggestion is pretty self-explanatory. Gold, come on. If you just look up gold, right? This is all you get. I guess powered rails are in there too, but I mean, you know, this is basically it. Right, like there's nothing going for gold. Like, I know it's supposed to be a rare ore and then not really used for building, but I mean, just gold bars or something like that. Gold change maybe, you know. Like, that'd be cool, right? Like, just something. Just something like gold, or maybe even a golem. Gold golem. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe I don't know. I mean, we have gold in the game for so long. I don't think they're just gonna come out with a gold golem. Maybe they'll surprise me next week's snapshot. What do you know? But yeah, that's all I have for you today in this video. I hope you enjoyed the video, and yep, that's a wrap. I guess that's all that needed to be said. Thank you ever so much for watching, and I'll see you again in another video. Have a good one. Bye.